We are now joined by Annette Rogers. She is the Community Relations Director for Town Place of West Bloomfield. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Annette.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Annette, can you start off by explaining a little bit more in depth about your position as the Community Relations Director at Townehall Place of West Bloomfield?
Yes. As the Community Relations Director, my job here is primarily sales and marketing. I'm basically the sales and marketing director. It is my job to make sure that our census is that the building is full and we have a high census. I am the revenue driver of this community. My position is very important. If our census is low and we don't have the revenue, that means that it can also impact things like employment, hiring new staff, making sure that we have enough caregivers. We are always staffed accordingly, but of course, the better our census, the higher the revenue, the more people we can employ, which always helps the outer community as well. I do all the marketing for the building, making sure that everyone in the area and surrounding cities know who we are, what we provide here at Townhall Place, senior living, and that's primarily what I do.
And that you are an expert on some of those services and facilities at Townhall Place. Can you give us a little bit more in depth about what one would be interested in when looking into assisted living homes, specifically at Town Place Hall of West Bloomfield?
Yes, it's Townhall Place, and I want to talk a little bit, just real briefly, and then answer your question about the name. This used to be called Regent Street, and a lot of people in the area remember Regent Street and have been here for quite some time. When there was a rebranding done, the name was changed. A new management company came in, took over, changed the name to Townhall Place, because this was the original town hall of West Bloomfield. This is the original municipal building where the police station was, where the courtroom was. People paid their taxes here. Now, what people can look, to answer your question, what people can look for, or what they should look for in an assisted living is there's an education that I always that I have with people when I'm meeting with them. A lot of times people think independent living, assisted living, memory care, nursing home, and for some, it's kind of like a blur. It's all the same, or they don't know really the difference, that there's a fine line between each area. So in an assisted living community, you're looking for a place where you can have assistance with your activities of daily living. We call them in short ADLs. So this is someone that may need assistance with remembering to take their medications, someone that may need assistance with bathing. Maybe they can bathe themselves, but they'd like to have some standby shower assistance, or maybe they just can't bathe themselves at all and they need a caregiver to assist them with maintaining their hygiene. Someone who may need assistance with getting dressed. They may be able to dress themselves, but they don't always remember that these are the clothes you wore yesterday, and today you need on a new set of clothing. So sometimes just laying out their clothes for them and assisting them with buttons and things like that. And for some people, they may not have the physical ability to dress themselves. So we have caregivers that can provide those needs as well. So we actually do provide quite a bit of care. Excuse me. We do assistance always. So we actually do provide a ton of care for residents, everyone from very independent all the way through totally bedridden. I have a young lady who lives here right now. She's been here for several years. She has MS and she's bedridden. We have to do everything for her. The only thing that she is capable of doing is she can feed herself, and we provide all the meals. And living in an assisted living, you never have to worry about cooking. We provide 3 meals per day. Transportation is free within a 10-mile radius. We pay all of the utilities except for the cable. We use DirecTV. It's $30 a month, but you get up to 100 channels. We also include an emergency pendant in the monthly rent. Housekeeping is included. Someone's going to deep clean your apartment every week. We also include your laundry. You never have to worry about doing any laundry, personal clothing, towels, linens, or anything. If someone, and we provide other services, incontinence care. We can work with catheters. It's just a ton of things that you can have here, because we want people to maintain as much of their independence as possible, but understanding that sometimes there are challenges that they face with those activities of daily living, and that's what we're here for.
Annette, when you have those initial conversations with either a potential resident or a loved one for a potential resident, what type of advice do you give them when looking to have a residency at Townehall Place of West Bloomfield?
Most people, when they shop around, they look at 2 or 3 different communities. I have a form that I always give them, and it kind of gives them a few things to look for. You're always going to look for the cleanliness of the community when you first walk through the door. How does it look? How does it smell? You're going to check out the staff. Like, look at the staff. How is the staff? What's their appearance? Are they well groomed? And what's their demeanor? Are they friendly? Do they greet the residents by name? Do they, is there a relationship there? When you come in here, we're all, we're like one big family. So as I'm walking down the hall on a tour, I'm greeting the residents by name. Other staff are doing the same. They're talking to the residents. We're like a family here, and our residents are very involved. And when they see me on the tour, they want to come up and talk and tell about their experience. I love it here, things like that. I always tell families to look for that, and to also not be afraid to ask questions. Who's available to you when you're doing your tour? When you come here to Townehall Place, my nurse is always available. I always make sure that she's aware that I have a tour. If it's pre-scheduled, if it's not and someone just walks in, I give her a call and tell her, hey, I'm about to go on a tour. Can you come down and give me 5 minutes? Because a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, when someone's looking at assisted living, they need care. And that's what they really want to know about. I am not a nurse. I'm not a medical professional, but I want to make sure that I have one available to answer all of their questions and to give them all the information that they need to make an informed decision. We do things like sliding scale insulin, 2-person assist. We have residents here that use Hoyer lifts. They didn't come in with a Hoyer, but they progressed into one. This is a community where you can age in place. And I make sure that people understand what is available to them. We all make sure of that. When they talk, regardless of who they talk to on my team, I try to make sure my entire team is available to talk to people. It's just making sure that I educate them. The biggest part of that is listening. So I take time to listen. I don't walk you in and rush you through and show you what I want to show you and tell you my building is so beautiful, you're just going to love it here, and then send you out the door. I give you time to really open up and tell me exactly what's going on with yourself or your loved one, whomever it is that you're looking for, so that I can give you the best information available to me. And if I don't have the answer for you, I will find out. If there are services that we don't provide, I'm not going to improvise or lie or tell you that we can do something that we can't. I don't want to set anyone up for failure. That's not what we do here. We run a very honest operation.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Annette.
Thank you.